Hey everybody, it's October 29th, just a couple days before Halloween, so I thought I'd leave you with some Halloween thoughts and wishes and touch on a couple other subjects I've been interested in lately. So, didn't really feel like Halloween up until very recently. That Halloween bug. Sometimes it bites late, but it always bites, and this year's no exception. But I'm definitely taking it easy this Halloween. I spent my 20s and 30s almost kind of stressing myself out. Like I need to watch a movie every night. I need to go to any haunt that's close by and that I have time for. But the older I get, the more I realize like the magic of Halloween is really just enjoying the nice fall weather, kicking back with a book, having fun with the kids, and as they get older, or when I'm a old man with less responsibilities, I'll definitely have time to get back into the more hardcore Halloween stuff. And musically, what I've been listening to lately, I got a lot of albums I want to look at, but that's going to be for another day. That new AFI, I really like that. I'm not a huge AFI fan, but when the Art of Drowning came in, I got into that album for a while. The All Hallows EP, forgot about him for a while. Then just a couple years ago, someone said like, check out that Sing the Sorrows album. Yeah, it's one of the more popular ones, but you'll like it. And they weren't kidding. I did like that one quite a bit. But again, I still have not really explored the AFI discography. But this new album, total style switch, pretty much pure goth rock, post punk. I thought it was awesome. Three songs in particular I give a big thumbs up to, but great album overall. I might pick myself up a copy of that. Also been thinking about that Son of Sam Songs from the Earth album from like 20 years ago. I do not see a copy of that out there for like an affordable price, but that's always been my MP3 copy's always been a Halloween staple, and really got to get my hands on that. New Hooded Menace, pretty awesome. Continuing their kind of movement towards just kind of being like a metal band with extreme metal vocals, but I totally dig it. Slasher Dave, I love his Halloween music, and I love the way he releases it too. I mean, we get you kind of ready in the fall, then like drop a full album in like early October, and then that like 5 days before Halloween, like one new song every day. I love it, and it is starting to sound a little bit samey, but I totally support that what that guy's doing, and if he would put out some physical stuff, I would totally snatch that up. I love Bardo Methodology, the metal zine. I got every issue of that, but lots of stuff on the website to take note of. And I read those full, like the guys that ran Full Moon Productions, and then another separate interview where it was the guy that ran Necropolis Records, two of the best old American black metal labels. Just really long, in depth interviews. So just kind of, listening to some of the albums I never got around to listening to back in the day while reading those interviews. And from Full Moon Productions, the one that I walked away with, the hidden jewel, was Argentum, a band from Spain. I was really into that. And although I was always aware of it, Tartaros from, I think, Sweden, it's kind of a keyboard heavy black metal group from the 90s. I was really into that as well. Movies. I've not been watching a lot of movies at home. I am looking forward to the new Hell House when that comes out tomorrow, October 30th. But of course, I watched some things, but nothing really worth talking about. I will, however, give a couple really brief reviews on the theatrical movies. Last fall, I did do maybe like 4 or 5 talking about every single Halloween movie that came out in the theaters. And those to this day remain like my least watched videos, so I'm not really going to bother. And overall, I'd actually say that this Halloween movie season has been pretty bad. A lot less movies than usual, and the quality of them, not so good either. Before I get into that, actually, I feel it's been like 2, 3 years in a row that they haven't had like a Halloween kids movie out there. I find that very strange, just leaving money on the table. Because I would 100% take my kids to any Halloween kids movie that was out there. But let's start back at the end of summer. You had Together with Dave Franco. A lot of people like that movie. A lot of good reviews. I thought overall, wasn't a fan, and I thought the ending was stupid. 2.5 out of 5. Weapons. I walked out of there saying that was like damn near a perfect movie. Upon hindsight, a couple things are a little too on the nose, and I thought the ending was a little goofy, but I still really enjoyed it. 4 out of 5. The Long Walk. Is it a horror movie? Not really, but close enough. I've heard nothing but universal praise for that movie. I've never been a big Stephen King guy, believe it or not, but I did enjoy that movie. I say that's a low 4 out of 5. The Conjuring. I could always take or leave those movies despite seeing them all. I thought it started kind of promising. The whole the main family that was the subject of the movie, I was kind of interested to see what happened to them, and they kind of get pushed to the background. And I thought the movie kind of became like progressively less creepy. And then at the end, it got all like sentimental, and I'm really not attached to these characters. I didn't think it was very good. I'm gonna give that a 2.5 out of 5. The Strangers, the second installment of the remake. First one wasn't very good. This one wasn't very good either. It's just like I hate to say it, but I just kind of just like, what was the point of this movie? Like, you remade a movie that wasn't all that interesting in the first place. You're not really doing anything interesting with it, and you're gonna break it up into 3 movies. Like, at the end of the second movie, they're like introducing some lore, but it's still not really explained, and it doesn't seem very interesting. Yeah, if I didn't say already, 2 out of 5. Just last night, I went to see Shelby Oaks. I've heard a lot of good things about that. Like, reviews don't seem great, kind of middle of the road, but enough positive things that I was excited. I thought it was good, not great. It starts off kind of like found footage-y. Definitely has a style shift to just being a regular movie. Definitely a couple creepy parts. The very end I thought was a scary moment. But I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. So that's basically it for the Halloween theatrical movie schedule. There's a couple other things. I just wasn't going to drive an hour to watch a small release. Tonight, I am going to see The Nightmare Before Christmas back in theaters, 3D. I've never been huge on that movie. Yes, it is a classic. I like the visuals. Just not really a movie I'm going to watch from beginning to end, really. But my son does like it, and why not sprinkle a little bit of a Halloween magic into the season? So we're going to do that tonight. It's probably going to cost about 3 months worth of Disney Plus, where we could just watch it at home for free. But still looking forward to that. Should be a good night. So the only glaring omissions were Toxic Avenger and him. Just in my neck of the woods, the runs were too short. I just never got to it. I intended to. Books. I've been doing a lot of reading, and usually I get into like a different author every Halloween and try to explore as much as I can. Last Halloween it was Clive Barker, and then this year it's Richard Lehman, and I'm really happy I got into his stuff, because I heard his name thrown around in like, the splatterpunk genre, and the only book at my local library was The Lake. I read it, I thought it was fine, but I wasn't really left wanting more. I had a coworker, and one time she mentioned his name, and I was like, Richard Lehman, like, you're a big fan of his, right? And she goes like, yeah. And I was like, wouldn't mind checking some of his stuff out. And she goes, well, leave it at that. I'll take care of you. So she brought me these. These. And these, which I've read in the last month. All Richard Lehman paperbacks. So she says, don't be in a rush to get them back to me. And I think I got a couple years worth of reading here. But I'm very happy about it. Because I do like somewhat extreme horror. But, you know, I've read stuff like Edward Lee and Wrath, James White and stuff. And I gotta say, it's a little much for me. Like, I can read it, but, like, I don't know. I just puts a little bit of unnecessary darkness into your life, and I don't really need books like that kind of hanging around the house. Yeah, it's a little much. But Richard Lehman, sweet spot. Just lots of, like, sex and violence, but kept in check, and these are just real page-turning books. So, I'll briefly go over the ones I read recently. I started off with Body Rides, basically a story of a guy that saves a woman who's about to be murdered. As a gift, she gives him a bracelet where he is basically given the power to go into the bodies of others and not control their actions, but to hear their thoughts and see what they see and all that stuff. I started off really strong, but this is one of his longer books, and it did take me a while to finish. The last, like, 150 pages I found a bit of a chore. It just kind of went on and on and on. And I think that idea could have been taken in a lot more interesting directions. And I feel like it's not really even that big a part of the story in the end. Come Out Tonight. This is about a lady that goes out searching for her boyfriend who leaves the house and never comes back. So night turns into a long adventure where she gets abducted and all kinds of stuff. I enjoyed it, but it was a little bit silly. Probably the weakest book I've read of his so far. But like a lot of his books, there's definitely some interesting characters. The main bad guy in here is just such a loser. It's kind of funny. Like, just some of the things. Like, it's not funny what he does, but you get my point. He's just kind of a goof. Two teenagers come in near the end. Kind of just kind of silly, but read it for yourself. To Wake the Dead. Simply, it's about a mummy kind of thing that comes back to life from a museum and does a whole murder spree, but there's like a side plot with some people that are taken prisoner and abducted in some weird way. And the two stories do tie in together, but I find the secondary plot to definitely be the more interesting thing here. He's got a series of 4 books dealing with the Beast House. The first one is called The Cellar. The Beast House is more or less like a tourist trap kind of museum where some murders took place, what's real, what's fake, people looking into it. And I thought this was really good, real fun, and a pretty crazy ending. I totally recommend The Cellar. Next up would be The Beast House, completely new cast of characters, but still dealing with the same house. I love this one as well. There's a third one called, I believe, The Midnight Tour, and my friend did not have that book, but I'll definitely read that eventually. And the series would be ended Friday night in the Beast House. Pretty short, definitely a more tame version of the books that preceded it, but a lot of fun too. And there was a short story at the end called The Wilds, also great. And I'd say, well, we're gonna leave my 2 favorites so far for last. My friend recommended this one, No Sanctuary, and I'm glad she did. I thought this book was really good. Basically about, well, there's two plots that tie in at the end, but basically about a couple that are having a camping trip gone wrong, and then a lady that is in the city and likes to break into people's homes and live there for a couple days at a time and attempt to leave inconspicuously. I thought the whole thing was excellent. And the book I just finished this morning, Night in the Lonesome October. Basically about a young man that gets dumped by his girlfriend and just kind of tries to get over it by going for late night walks in October and meeting a whole cast of crazy characters. And this book is known to be less sex and violence than you would expect from a Richard Lehman book. A little bit more dreamy, a little bit more whimsical, but still a horror book for adults for sure. So when I heard that description, I thought that this is going to be like my favorite book ever. I do think it's great, but not as good as I was hoping for, but still like a solid 4 out of 5. The book I wanted to read over the next couple days is Hallows Eve, but we're like 48 hours from Halloween. I don't want to be sitting inside reading a book this whole time, so I think I'm going to put that aside for next Halloween. Looking forward to it. Also going to make sure I finish off my Halloween issue of Rue Morgue magazine. Definitely the best magazine out there. And yeah, I don't think I ever mentioned it before, but like, you know, like my wife's a teacher and she's pretty like she likes horror stuff insofar as like, hey, do you want to go to a horror movie? She'll say yes. She probably won't go on her own. But like columnist here, Paige Reynolds, who's a very talented artist in her own right. That was my wife's college roommate. And then her best friend is one of the contributors here. And yeah, like just through a couple birthday parties and stuff like that, I definitely met quite a few of the people on the Rue Morgue staff. Not that they would know me from a hole in the wall, but yeah, I went to a wedding once of one of the people associated with the magazine, and it was like a Halloween wedding. It was really awesome and one of the favorite weddings I've ever been to. So that's some Rue Morgue. And yeah, I just want to take a minute to wish everyone a happy Halloween. It's definitely my favorite season of the year. If you ever, you know, check out my videos, thanks for tuning in. It's just good to, you know, I'm just talking to the phone here, but I just love talking about, you know, movies and music and stuff like that. And yeah, I just kind of tell myself it's kind of like a little like talk at the record store, even if I might never meet any of you guys. So have a great Halloween, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot.